Welcome to our program. This is Yellow Ribbon Initiative, a project of Flair Africa, a non-governmental organization based in Kenya, East Africa. This is the CEO, the project director, a former ex-convict, and having gone through the systems of rehabilitations and reintegrations. I found a gap or a missing link between the ex-convicts and the community. I want to put this on basic, simple terms so that we may be able to understand one another. Our main objective is to make sure we have a peaceful re-entry program. And I'm sitting here today to explain and really bring forth into the society, the community, the necessity or the importance of reintegration. Why do we have re-entry? What is the purpose of re-entry? And these are the things that we need to understand that when an individual has been taken into custody, there are so many things that are involved in it. First of all, you realize that the family, in most cases, the ex-convict, or actually the person who has been taken into custody, is a breadwinner or somebody depended upon by other persons. Because we all know that, especially in the African setup, there is no individual who is lonely or who is alone. Every person is a community in himself. Every human being is a community. Nobody lives in an island. Nobody lives like a poultry. Even poultries, electric poles are connected by cables. So we are all humans, and we are interconnected in one way or another, and we are part of the community. So when somebody has been taken out of the society, what happens is he's been taken to an institution, and he is not taken for, in most cases, our mental perspective, he is not taken for a good cause. They always get into the custody or into the prisons because of bad image. They have committed an offense or bad character. And so when they go with that face, they live with it. And then now what they encounter in custody is an institution. So the institution itself, especially when we look at our Kenyan prison, goes back to, like, we have the institution of the industrial area prison given the identity of 1911. These are pre-colonial times, and so most of the activities that are going on there, institutionalization of the persons who are there, is simply rigid rules based on colonial regulations and servitude. And so when somebody goes in there, he knows he's going there for a torture, a punishment. And so it requires, first of all, before we talk of re-entry into the society, re-entry into the society must begin from the time the person is admitted in custody. And that means now we have to humanize the institutions that are rehabilitative. Humanizing means as soon as a person or is received or admitted into custody, they are supposed to receive him in a humane manner. Because those of us who have been there understand very well that as soon as you get into custody, the first thing that you do is you are suppressed. Suppression, your identity is removed out of you, your humanity is gotten out of you, and your self-esteem is actually eliminated out of. In simple terms, you are dehumanized. And in fact, for in most cases, you find out that the officers begin calling you, these are the new thieves in town, or few new thief, new. They don't call it defilers. They call them new children and some kind of funny names in town, new killers in town, new all kind of identities. You are branded an identity, a marker. And so, because of these circumstances now, and whatever goes in there, there is the importance of humanizing the institution. And so, the main reason why we are coming in now as Yellow Ribbon Initiative is to humanize the persons who are coming out of custody, and let them understand that they are still loved within the environments of their homes. And so, for us to be able to achieve this, it requires a serious planning between our organization, the institutions of the prisons, the probation and aftercare service, and of course, the people who must be involved directly in it is the family. The family which is receiving this person must have the first-hand benefit of this. Why? What we need to handle at the moment is this very simple. The government needs to help us here. For instance, when somebody is taken out of their home, and we need to care for those who are left behind, especially when they are very vulnerable. We have children, we have wives who are not capable of taking care of themselves. We have extended families. We need to understand either the government to come in and rescue the children because their dependent is gone out of their home, or if it's a misdemeanor, then the breadwinner should be given non-custodial sentence, especially for sentences which are below 3 years. They should be given non-custodial sentence. And then now, institutions to come in now to manage them or administer them while in the community. And that should involve authorities like chiefs, and even, if possible, delocalize or localize the prison institutions so that within the sub-county level we have a prison institution to manage those who are serving an uncustodial sentence. And this is a very good thing to to humanize the prison facility. So once we begin planning on how to re-enter into the society, then now it requires patience. When these people come into the community, you need to give them time to settle down. As I've always said, that when people get into the prison facility, they are institutionalized. Institutionalization means they follow strict, systematic, structured rules from time to time, from the day one up to the number of years that they have been serving. Now, when this person comes home, remember he's used to a system of head count. I think they're about, there is one in the morning, between 5 and 6 in the morning. Then there is another one at lunch, just slightly before lunch. Then there is another one slightly after lunch. Then there is another one for confirmation at around 3 or 4 there. Then there is another one in the evening and another one before sleep. About six of them, six head counts. So these are daily routine that has to be done. Now, the other thing that you need to understand is that they rarely have the mind of their own because there is no freedom. It's not just freedom of movement, but you move within the confines of your compound or even within your house. Many of them are locked in their houses. And so, in prison, you are not allowed to stand in a group of two, three people. There is always a question, what are you doing there? So you are dispersed. That means the institution does not allow you to have an independent thinking, an independent mind, lest you start planning other things. So this person has come out of a jurisdictive mind, institutionalized mind, a mind of order. He's suppressed, so he's diminished in his persona, self-esteem. He's stigmatized, and so much has gone on, say that he doesn't have, in short, he has a clear jurisdiction or boundaries on what, where not to move. And when these people come back home, uh, they are not free to move because now they have been locked in a specific place for a very long time. So they are not free to move. And so, um, for successful re-entry program, we require a preparation before release. When, for example, we know that somebody is about to get out of custody, for example, in the year 2027, in the year 2026 or this year, that is a year before release, preparation needs to be made both with the person, the convict, and the family, and the institution that is going to take him to hand over this person to the family and provide necessities for him to be able to come back into the society. And so this preparation needs to be done a year before, so that we need to develop a data, or simply a yellow ribbon initiative. We have developed a data of all those that have come within and registered within our organization, so that when they go out, when they're out, we can give them a base and a foundation in which they can build their life thereafter. So once we've done that, they come and find things already being in place, and now they have to pick up from there. And we will never, or actually, we have reduced recidivism into the community or recidivism into the prisons facility. So we need to manage the transitional period prior to release, and now during the time of release, we need to understand how to manage them, buy them clothes, buy them food, subject them into medical treatment, check them for counseling, check them for physical exercises, and show them around, socializing around, knowing the kind of people, what is going on in these cities, taking them to parks to get that institution out of them. We go to recreational facilities, meet the persons who have been in custody, see what they are doing, reintegrate with them. Those that have Yellow Ribbon has established them, let them have a one hand meeting. We also have a fellowship program with them so that they meet in a particular place, they have a meal together, rejoice together, sing together, and uh, build one another. And now interactive sessions where we have to build them. Now, within the first 30 days, that's actually what the program is all about, so that they socialize with ex offenders like us and others who are within the Yellow Ribbon Initiative program. So, in then after, now we introduce them into the job industry. Like, for example, we are going to have an MOU, an understanding with governors in the country and the Federation of Kenya employees so that they accept them into the industry and offer them with job opportunities and let them work within their jurisdiction. Now, um, this is what the society or actually the community needs to do when we are inviting an ex-offender back into home or accepting them back. We need to prepare a financial plan, and this financial plan is because when they come home, they need to have they don't have the strength to work. So most of the time they will be eating. Remember, you at least somebody who has been away and he has to develop the eating habits. Earlier on, when they were in custody, for example, they were being fed as early as let me put it at 7. They have porridge, and then we get. At 10, 11, they have their lunch, and at 3, they have their supper or dinner meals. And then now there's a long time of night of sleep. And so when they come out, they may not be able to generate income. And so we need to have a plan. The family needs to have a financial plan that they're going to accommodate this person for a time. And this is where now, once this has been reached or arrived at, that acceptance, then the Yellow Ribbon Initiative now, after mediating between, because we have a mediation department dealing between the ex-convict and the family or the community and the victim, because the victim might still be within the environs of the community. So we have to create a mediation program so that we bring him on board, apologies, forgiveness, and restoration and reconciliation within themselves. And so the family at this point needs to understand that they have an extra mouth to feed who is not going to generate income as soon as possible. And that one, we need to talk to the family members, children, and teach them on how to welcome while acknowledging potential behavior changes. This is not the person who was a convict, but now he is a changed person. That is why we have a rehabilitation program. Then the other thing is we need to set up a financial base so that once he is in, he should be able to begin up his business. We also need to understand that when somebody gets out of custody, there are a lot of expectations because already he knows that in such a day I should be going home. And so he has great plans in his mind. But then now, when he comes into the society, he finds that things are different. Things, the lifestyle is changed, the economic is different, mobility to the interactions with people, the receptibility of people is very different. So this is why counseling is very important at this point for this person. Um, we subject them, and in our panel also, we are going to involve counselors who are reachable or for us to be able to engage them when it comes to bringing the ex-convicts on board. And so after this, then now we go to develop a fund, Yellow Ribbon Fund, Yellow Ribbon Initiative Integration Fund for the ex-convicts, so that as soon as they settle now, they are ready to do some exercising and all that. There is a document they have to fill and tell us what exactly they would want to do to generate income. And we have a financial trainer with us, management trainer, and he's going to engage them in a forum on training them on how to manage their businesses. We have him on board. I can give his name, is actually Morgan. And at this point, we are able to assist them open an account, register a business, and we fund them up to a limit. Then we manage them and see how they can run the business. And we also have to explain, or during the mediation sessions, we also teach the families on how to handle him with love, because where he has come from, he's coming from an institution that doesn't really have, it's not related to love. These are strangers. These are people who have institutions, rules. And since it's somebody who's come out because of having been subjected to rules and regulations to be followed every now and then, we need to integrate him into the community of freedom. This is a place where he can make his own choices. Now, if he makes wrong choices, he's likely to end up in the same place. And so many of them, when they have come back home, they fear making decisions because they might make wrong choices. And therefore, we ask the people who are accommodating them, to teach them or explain to them that they are free to make choices, but we can help them and understand the consequences that may come along the way. And since they know what can happen, they will always have to ask and seeking guidance. What happens if I do ABC? So these are people who are very emotionally destroyed. Many of them actually have no heart anymore. They have no feelings. Their feelings has been removed out of them, and therefore it is our responsibility to put life in them. An institution has no life. So these are people who have been institutionalized. So what we need to do is to give life in them, and that is where counseling and spiritual institutions are very necessary. Churches don't need to talk only about going to heaven. We need to build people who are heaven bound. We make holiness so that as the heavenly kingdom is, so it is on earth. So when we love our neighbor and build them, we are actually establishing a heavenly kingdom. So I am calling upon the faith organizations, the Pentecostals, because the Catholic fraternity has gone way up front in trying to establish ex offenders. My problem is with the Pentecostal fraternity. The only community that I found are working towards the establishment of ex-offenders is actually SITAM and SDA, Seventh-day Adventist Church, and Presbyterian, is it Presbyterian PCEA Church of East Africa. These, unless the others have not come across, but these are entities or faith-based organizations that are helping ex-offenders to settle at their home. So we are calling upon every individual in the society, because you are free today, tomorrow your freedom is taken away from you. It is important that we accommodate one another, we love one another, and teach each other on how to live cohesively and build one another, because your safety today is my safety. Now, one key thing that I really must tell people is that when these people come out, there is a lot of shame and stigma, a lot of shame and stigma that is really burdening them. Encourage them to have social interactions with other members of the family and other members of the community. Encourage them to speak their story, their experiences, what they saw, what they now know, what it means, so that it's like he's teaching them. Organize a forum for them to teach people, a forum for them to teach people on how to avoid getting into prison, the pains of getting into prison. That will heal him and also heal those who are listening, so that we reduce prison entry and reduce recidivism. So it's our main vision is that we empower the ex-convicts through our Yellow Ribbon Initiative Integration Fund, through anybody else that is willing to fund us. We can give you the link, DM us, give us a message, so that we shall be able to reach out to them. We have developed a data of every person who is within our database, our community, so that now we help them reestablish their lives. Now, there are those who are rejected by the community. We have to provide them a safe landing place. We also have those whose items they have been disinherited by people. For example, property. Some of them were taken into custody so that their properties can be taken away. We do a restoration of their properties. We help them with their legal undertakings, wherever they have matters to sort out in case Yellow Ribbon Initiative through Flair Africa comes up in hand to help them reinstate their properties. Because we have cases where people send the vulnerable groups into custody by framing fraudulent charges against them. And because we have delay of cases in our judicial system, people take long, and by the time they come out, their property is gone. Some of their wives have gone, or families have disappeared. So that is something that happens every day, every time. Thank you very much for being with us, and I encourage you to just share this with everybody else who has, I know in one way or another, you have an ex convict as a relative, as a friend, as a neighbor, or somebody who knows an ex convict. Let them be on our database so that we are able to help them come up into our system so that we may be able to sustain them and bring up each other into a bigger community. Shalom and God bless you. Don't tire. Let's help one another. Avoid being in prison. Otherwise, you will have to spend time